My name is Emily. I am 28 years old. I live in a small town, in a quiet house with a little garden. I have always dreamed of a simple, happy life. I thought I had found it when I married Jake. Jake was charming when we first met. He had a bright smile, kind eyes, and he made me feel special. He would bring me flowers for no reason, write me little notes, and tell me how much he loved me every single day. I truly believed he was my soulmate. I was so sure that nothing could ever break us apart. We got married after 2 years of dating. Our wedding was small but beautiful. I wore a simple white dress, and he wore a dark suit. I still remember how he looked at me that day, with so much love and pride. That memory stayed with me for a long time, even when things started to change. At first, everything was perfect. We would cook together, laugh over silly jokes, and go for long walks at night. Jake was my best friend, my partner, my everything. I trusted him completely. I believed every word he said. But slowly, little things started to feel different. Jake became busy with work. He would come home late, tired and distant. He stopped bringing flowers. He stopped writing notes. At first, I thought it was just stress. I told myself that it was normal, that life sometimes gets busy. I tried to be understanding. I cooked his favorite meals, gave him space, and waited patiently for him to come back to me. But deep inside, a small voice started whispering something was wrong. One night, while Jake was in the shower, his phone buzzed. It was a message from someone I didn't know. A woman named Lily. My heart raced. I didn't want to invade his privacy, but the curiosity and fear were stronger. I opened the message. I miss you already. Last night was amazing. My hands shook. I couldn't believe what I was reading. My Jake, my husband, the man who promised to love me forever, had been with another woman. Tears filled my eyes, and my heart broke into 1,000 pieces. When Jake came out of the bathroom, he saw the phone in my hand and the tears on my face. For a moment, he looked guilty. Then, he got angry. "Why are you checking my phone?" he shouted. I couldn't even speak. I just cried. I had trusted him with everything, and he betrayed me. I asked him why. I begged him to tell me the truth. Was it something I did? Was I not enough? Jake looked away. He said it just happened, that he didn't mean to hurt me. He blamed his stress, his loneliness, even me, saying I had become too boring. His words cut deeper than the betrayal itself. That night, I slept alone for the first time in a long time. I stared at the ceiling, feeling like the world I had built was crumbling around me. I thought about all the moments we had shared, all the dreams we had made together. How could he throw it all away so easily? The next morning, Jake acted like nothing happened. He said he was sorry, that it was a mistake, and that he still loved me. He begged me to forgive him, to give him another chance. My heart wanted to believe. I still loved him, even after everything. I wanted to believe that we could fix this, that our love was strong enough to survive. But deep down, I knew something had changed forever. I decided to stay, at least for a little while. I needed time to think. I needed time to heal. I needed time to understand how I could love someone who had hurt me so badly. And so, I began a journey, a painful, lonely journey of trying to find myself again. Days turned into weeks, and life inside our home felt cold and strange. Jake tried to act normal. He brought me flowers again, said sweet words, and even promised to change. But something inside me was broken. Every time he touched my hand, every time he smiled at me, I remembered the message from Lily. I remembered the lies. I wanted to forgive him. I truly did. I wanted to believe that love could fix everything. But trust is like glass. Once it's shattered, it can never be the same again. I started spending more time alone. I would sit in the garden, watching the flowers sway in the breeze. They seemed so free, so untouched by pain. I wondered if I could ever feel that way again. I missed the old Emily, the girl who smiled easily, who believed in fairy tales. One afternoon, I found myself sitting with my best friend, Claire. She was the first person I told about Jake's betrayal. Claire listened quietly, then she looked into my eyes and said, "Emily, you deserve to be loved the right way. Not with lies, not with excuses. Real love doesn't hurt like this." Her words hit me hard. For the first time, I saw my situation clearly. I had been holding on to a memory, to a dream, but the reality was different. I was living with a man who had broken my heart and my spirit. That night, I made a decision. I sat Jake down in the living room. My hands trembled, but my voice was steady. "I can't do this anymore," I said. "I deserve better. I deserve honesty, respect, and real love." Jake looked shocked. He begged me to stay. He cried, saying he would change, that he would prove his love. But I had heard those promises before. I couldn't believe them anymore. "I love you, Jake," I said, tears streaming down my face. But sometimes, love isn't enough. I packed my bags. I left behind the house we shared, the memories we built, the dreams we dreamed. It was the hardest thing I had ever done. My heart broke all over again as I walked out the door. For a while, life was very hard. I moved into a small apartment. The nights were the worst. I would lie awake, feeling the emptiness next to me, remembering the life I lost. Sometimes I wondered if I made a mistake. Sometimes I missed him so much it hurt. But slowly, something beautiful began to happen. I started to find myself again. I went back to painting, something I loved but had stopped doing after getting married. I painted sunsets, flowers, oceans. I poured all my pain, all my hopes, into my art. And with every stroke of the brush, I healed a little more. I took long walks in the park. I read books I had always wanted to read. I had coffee dates with Claire, laughing and crying and sharing our dreams. I realized that life wasn't over. It was just beginning a new chapter, written by me. I hope you enjoyed this story. Have you ever experienced? Share your stories with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories and adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.